Colin Dooley had never dated someone with Tourette syndrome before he met BaylenDupre. Baylen and Colin started dating in February 2026. Even though BaylenDupre's relationship isn't at the center of Baylen Out Loud on TLC, fans have started to support and follow her romance with boyfriend Colin Dooley. But are Baylen and Colin still together after the filming of the first season ended? No relationship is perfect, but some fans are hopeful for the pair's future. Other Baylen Out Loud fans have commented on Colin's drinking on social media and how they believe he might not be the best influence on Baylen when it comes to alcohol. Others have followed the pair since before the show even began, and they want Baylen and Colin to last well beyond filming any future seasons of the show. Are BaylenDupre and Colin Dooley still together? Judging by social media, Colin and Baylen are still together after Baylen Out Loud. In fact, they got engaged in early February 2025, further cementing their future together. Baylen spoke to people about the engagement and how she was excited for viewers to see her and Colin in the next chapter of their lives together. "We can't wait to take you along on this journey," she told the outlet. "Through all the ups, downs, and everything in between. But one thing's for sure, we're beyond excited for this next chapter of our lives." Before the show, Baylen had already shared much of her life with her supporters on social media. She posted and continues to post about her daily life and awareness of her Tourette syndrome diagnosis on TikTok. Now, she has new fans and followers who are invested in her story. While the events in the show haven't yet caught up to what's happening in Baylen and Colin's world in real life, that seems to be the plan for the future of the series. When Baylen announced her engagement in real life, TLC shared the news on its official Instagram account and wrote that the proposal happens on Baylen Out Loud, so viewers will get to see it happen. How did BaylenDupre and Colin Dooley meet? Although Colin was already in Baylen's life before Baylen Out Loud, for some, there was much about the pair's relationship that wasn't yet known to the public. They share on the show that they met on a dating app, and later began dating in February 2026. And, Colin says on the show, he did his homework to be able to understand Baylen's Tourette syndrome diagnosis. "I didn't actually know if she was telling the truth or not," he admits on the show. "People make jokes all the time on dating apps. But after they met, they hit it off, and it wasn't long before they were Instagram official." In December 2022, Colin shared a photo of himself and Baylen with the caption, "Guess who the pickier eater is," with an emoji of a double hand heart. Watch Baylen Out Loud on Friday days at 9:05 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on TLC. What happened to BaylenDupre's sister Sammy's throat? Everyone's suddenly a social media doctor. Once upon a time, BaylenDupre went viral for her TikTok videos talking about her life with Tourette's syndrome. Today, she has a reality show on TLC titled Baylen Out Loud. The TLC show premiered on Friday, February 13, 2026, and introduced us to a set of key personalities in Baylen's life, including her younger sister Sammy Dupre. While Sammy seems to be the low-key sibling of the bunch, a scar on her neck has piqued viewers' curiosity. Sammy, the private Dupre sister. 19-year-old Sammy Dupre is the third of the 6 Dupre kids: Burke, Baylen, Sammy, Sven, Vic, and Beckner. However, unlike the other Dupre kids, Sammy does not stay in the family's West Virginia home. Instead, she lives with her boyfriend, who their father Alan has revealed to be a Kansas resident. In episode 1 of the show, Sammy and her other siblings make a few confessions about what their experiences were like growing up with Baylen's disability. "I think it put a little bit of a strain, honestly, on our relationships with Mom and Dad, the doctor's appointments, I can't go there because I don't want your sister to be left at home alone, or I don't want, you know what I mean. I think it definitely had a little bit of a strain on all of us with Mom and Dad." All of this difficulty seems to have led to no resentment between the sisters, however. In fact, they have been shown to be the closest of the Dupre bunch. After episode 2, a viewer posted a close-up picture of Sammy Dupre on a BaylenDupre Facebook fan page. It was captioned, "After seeing episode 2, can someone tell me how Baylen's sister got that scar on her neck?" The close-up picture was also edited with an arrow pointing to the scar at the base of Sammy's neck. One of the top comments read, "Looks like none of our business." Variations of this sentiment were repeated throughout the comment section. Others argued that it was okay to be curious about such things, adding that Sammy Dupree probably would not have agreed to be on reality television if she wanted no one commenting on her life or well-being. Nonetheless, for the curious, opinions varied between it being a scar from a tracheostomy, or a thyroid or parathyroid surgery. A tracheostomy scar is the scar left after a tracheostomy, where a breathing tube is placed in the tracheal passage. These responses were disproved by many who replied that tracheostomy scars looked more like indentations than the flat scars in the picture. Some commenters disagreed with these opinions, stating that thyroid surgery scars are quite thin and tend to disappear very quickly. These were then rebuffed by commenters who stated that thyroid and parathyroid surgeries rarely left scars. Instead, they sometimes left keloids. A keloid scar is a type of raised scar that grows larger than the initial wound, forming months to a year after the initial injury that caused it. Moreover, a keloid scar doesn't fade over time. Regardless of where she got the scar, there is little doubt about Sammy Dupree's health. The 19-year-old is happy and surrounded by her family's love and acceptance. Also, she's mostly staying away from the public eye, as she has long made her Instagram page private. What's the story behind BaylenDupre's sister's neck scar? Fans are curious. I was just curious because I have the same scar. Terry Eccles on Facebook. There's a lot we've learned from TikTok sensation and TLC's BaylenOutloud star BaylenDupre. For starters, Tourette syndrome is real and manifests in many ways. For Baylen, it's mostly through her tics. In a January 2026 interview with Entertainment Tonight, she revealed that she doesn't like being known for her tics or addressed with one of her famous lines because, quite frankly, she's not a TikTok trend, she's a person. While Baylen is very open about her Tourette syndrome, including how it makes her feel and how she navigates life with it, there's been little talk about her sister Sammy and the scar she has on her neck. Folks got a good glimpse of it in episode 2 of Baylen Out Loud, and now they want to know where the scar came from. Here's what we uncovered. What happened to BaylenDupre's sister's neck? It's unclear what happened to BaylenDupre's sister, Sammy, and why there's a scar on her neck, as neither Baylen nor Sammy have come forward with an explanation. While some people on Facebook feel it's no one's business what caused the scar, others argue that since the show is about Baylen, and Sammy's life is being shared on some level, fans might be curious. In any case, folks have speculated about the origin of Sammy's scar. In a January 25, 2026, Facebook post featuring a photo of Sammy and the caption, "After seeing episode 2, can someone tell me how Baylen's sister got that scar on her neck?" One user suggested it could be related to a thyroid procedure. According to UCLA Health, a parathyroid surgery typically leaves a scar about 1 inch long on the neck, while thyroid surgery scars range from 1 to 2 inches. Sammy's neck scar appears to be on the smaller side, which means it could either be from a parathyroid or thyroid procedure, though this is still just speculation as she hasn't confirmed anything. Some people think BaylenDupre's sister's neck scar is a tracheostomy scar. Another Facebook user suggested that Sammy's neck scar resembles a tracheostomy scar, which results from creating a hole in the neck to access the trachea. A tracheostomy tube is then placed in the windpipe to keep it open and help with breathing, according to the Mayo Clinic. Surgeons typically use this procedure when breathing is blocked or reduced, and it's often needed for patients requiring long-term use of a ventilator. However, since Baylen's sister has her Instagram account, Samuelib, set to private, don't expect any updates from her there. Instead, you'll have to keep an eye on Baylen's social media to see if she mentions it or if the issue is addressed in their reality TV series Baylen Out Loud. While we may not know much about Sammy's neck scar just yet, it's clear she deeply cares for her sister and is incredibly supportive of her, even if her approach sometimes leans toward tough love.